You gotta come celebrate the best tacos in Texas at the Texas Monthly Taco Fest on June 7th at Discovery Green. You'll get to sample some of the best taquerias around as appointed by the one and only Texas Monthly Taco Editor. This celebration of the 50 best tacos in Texas is gonna feature live music, drinks, and my favorite part, all the tacos you can handle and more. Get your tickets now at texasmonthly.com/tacofest. The largest pop culture festival in Texas is back at the George R. Brown Convention Center from June 20th to June 22nd, Comic Palooza. And there is so much to do at Comic Palooza, so dress up as your favorite character. I'll probably be in a Batman costume, and check out the different exhibitors on the show floor, stop by the Okashi Japanese arcade area, or visit one of the many celebrity panels. Get your tickets now at comicpalooza.com/CityCastHouston. Today on CityCast Houston, breakfast might be the most important meal of the day, but brunch, especially in Houston, is the most amazing meal of the day. I'm getting the top spots from Houston Chronicle's restaurant critic, Bao Ong. It's Wednesday, May 28th. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Okay, Bao, right out the gate, I'm putting you on the spot. Finish the sentence for me. No brunch is complete without blank.
Mimosas?
Oh, I mean, it's up to you. It's your personal answer here. There's no right or wrong answer, but mimosas.
Mimosas, pancakes. I think you can't go wrong with pancakes.
Oh, man, pancakes hit so hard. To me, it's French toast. I have to have French toast at brunch. They just always hit for me. If it's a stuffed French toast, give me that. But yeah, there's some staples, right? We have to have at brunch.
I'm actually team waffles, but I feel like what's really trendy right now are pancakes. There's this restaurant in New York called Golden Diner, and they've been viral on TikTok for this really thick pancake that's really popular. And I've even seen similar versions here in Houston.
Can you give me some examples of some viral pancakes?
Blue Dorn is doing these really thick pancakes. They're probably stacked 6 inches high. Ooh. With a tab of butter, tons of maple syrup, obviously. You couldn't finish one on your own. These pancakes.
Wow. It's that thick.
Yeah.
Wow. With 2 C's, THICC.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you brought up mimosas because that is one of the most important elements for brunch. Tell me, who has the best mimosa in town, or give me another drink maybe even for brunch?
One of my favorites is Lucille's, I think partly it's the vibe there, especially on the weekend. It's so festive. If you're there after people are out of church, there's usually a wait, but it's definitely worth it. It's a lot of fun. All the dishes are really, great. It's comfort food. It's brunchy food that you want. In addition to other dishes that you might not find on a typical brunch menu, what did I have the other? I think I had oxtail tamales,
Ooh.
Which were amazing at Lucille's. It's rich food. It's, some of the food's heavy. It just kind of begs for a mimosa.
Yeah. What do they do specifically with their mimosas that makes it stand out?
They're generous on the sparkling wine part. So, usually it's kind of the opposite where you get mostly orange juice versus the wine. So I think they definitely are generous on that front.
In this conversation, I'm going to be getting top spots from you, best brunch spots with friends, a splurge, some drag brunches. So we've got some great topics coming up, but let's start with a chill spot. Okay, where should we go for a classic chill brunch that has amazing food?
I have a soft spot for Barnaby's. I feel there's a number of different locations. So if you're making plans with friends that live in different parts of town, you usually have a few options and you know what to expect. Baby Barnaby's is also kind of a personal favorite. It's a little bit smaller. The food is really good. You get huge portions. And, especially in this economy, it just, everyone's looking for, a bit of a deal. But Barnaby's is always great. And The other place that I always think of is Hugo's, especially on Sunday when they have their
Oh my
buffet.
gosh.
I think it's
Yeah.
such a crowd pleaser. It's a great place for a group of people as well. And, you just kind of like pick and choose what you want. And you don't have to stick to one item.
That's my big thing. Like, I love a good brunch buffet, and Hugo's is a great choice. But when I go with friends or family, like, I don't like sharing my items. And there's this like understood agreement between everyone at brunch that we're all going to share items. Like, no, like, leave me with my French toast, Bao. I don't want to share with you. Why do we do that?
Well, I mean, I think like part of dining out is like the whole, sharing is caring MO. Maybe brunch is a little bit different for folks because they're really hungry or, they're in like a celebratory mood.
Speaking of that celebratory mood, brunch is a great way to celebrate different occasions like birthdays, graduations, bridal showers. So, where should we head for a good celebratory brunch?
One spot that I really love is Flora. It's right off the bayou, off Allen Parkway. It's a beautiful dining room, tons of
Hmm.
natural light. You kind of, see all like the greenery around the bayou there. It's also a big space, so you can have, larger groups. There's live music sometimes on the weekends. And the food, you can get like eggs and whatnot, but like I feel like the food's a little bit more interesting, especially with kind of the Mexican influence of the menu. You can get this like whole fish that's like butterflied and like in two different type of sauces. That's really good. You can get oysters, and then the cocktails are also really good, which is important part of brunch.
Ooh, that sounds good. Butterflied fish. Okay,
A
like
whole
split
fish, yeah.
open with some good sauces. That sounds like a unique brunch as well. So I'm all for that. Give me a good spot for families because this is the one that I struggle with having two kids, a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old. The 10-year-old is like a little mini adult now, which is fine. But with the 2-year-old, oh my gosh, Bao, where should I take her?
uh, and for family friendly kind of restaurants, the one that I always kind of bring up is Mia's Table, just because like I feel like they do a really good job of a kind of like, your classics, and they're really friendly with kids. There's usually kind of an outdoor area as
Mm,
well. Pit Room actually in Memorial is that new location of Pit Room's huge.
okay.
There's a lot of seating. They have communal tables, especially if you have a bigger group, you can just kind of take over one. And, it's just like a really friendly spot for families.
Are they doing like special brunch menus at Pit Room or is it just mostly barbecue?
I feel like the under the radar secret with Pit Room is like their breakfast tacos, which
Mm.
are some of the definitely like probably like top three
Oh,
uh,
wow.
in Houston for me for like a breakfast taco. So that's always really good. But for like kids, you can get like chicken wings. You can get like different sandwiches too.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Brunch has become one of our calling cards. I don't know if you agree or not, but to me, like we are a brunch city. And when people come here, there's this excitement, right? And one of the reasons is because of the party brunches, right? And there's several different types. Like you've got ones with live music, you've got the vinyls playing. There's just like these different vibes. I've even seen where, at these brunches, the bottle girls will come by. And if you don't know what bottle girls are, they're the hostesses that will bring out, a bottle if you buy it of champagne or whatever you get. And they'll bring up these like sparklers and make a big scene about it. That has become like one of our things, right? So I don't go to party brunches, but if I wanted to, where do you think I should head to?
Well, definitely I feel like Sunday Fun Day is a big thing with brunch
Hmm.
culture here in Houston. Like there are people who will come here just for the weekends to have like, kind of like a weekend long brunch.
Yeah.
But in terms of like places that are really kind of just fun where, there's bottle service. Well, actually, let me start here. I think Jalisco has one of the best brunches. It's in the Woodlands. The food is amazing, but the thing is, like, it's such a festive atmosphere. They have like mariachi bands. There's like always live music.
Oh.
The room is packed, and you definitely hear like way more Spanish than like English being spoken, which I think
Oh,
is like
wow.
really great. That's really fun, but I'm old too. I don't.
Yeah.
my brunch starts early and ends pretty early these
Yeah.
days.
I'm with you. And it's crazy. Our producer, Carly on Jones, was actually telling me some of her favorite spots. And She loves Honey Hole, like she loves going there. But when it comes to like party brunches, she was telling me about camp. And that's the one I see on Instagram all the time. Like people are checking in there and it's a big deal. Forget Me Not and Chapman and Kirby is another really popular one. She was telling me that people actually fly into Houston just for that. Like that is nuts, Val.
No, I feel like I've kind of pushed it on the age limit and keeping up with all these people that can do a Sunday fun day from like 11 to like 11.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a thing here in Houston.
Could you imagine how annoyed I would get if somebody came up to me with sparklers? I would just be like, why can I just eat my French toast? I just want
Well,
to eat.
I saw someone post, and I think she went viral on TikTok for this for at Forget Me Not because like they charge you like for parking, and
Oh, wow.
then they charge you, like there's a set fee to get bottle service. Essentially, you have to have bottle service to
Hmm.
get a table, and then everything on top of that.
Oh, hard pass. Hard pass. But
Yeah,
I mean, look, live your life, y'all.
yeah. There's a brunch for everyone here in Houston.
Nothing says a Texas road trip like heading to the cowboy capital of the world, Bandera, Texas. And they're doing Friday Night Lights with a cowboy twist. You gotta check out the Riding on Faith 2025 Summer Series Rodeo, which kicks off every Friday night from May 30th through July 25th at Mansfield Park in Bandera. I love live music, and Bandera keeps the music playing, from big name headliners to classic honky tonks. And this summer, Bandera is proud to be one of 7 Texas cities to host a special traveling exhibit from the Smithsonian called Crossroads: Change in Rural America. And it highlights how rural communities have changed in the last century. Experience this engaging, interactive display from June 21st to July 26th at the Bandera Middle School. Start planning your road trip now at banderacowboycapital.com. Bandera, Texas. Cowboy dreams begin here.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Another entertaining brunch, and we have several of these, but drag brunches, they were popular once in Houston. Where are we going for a good drag brunch?
Well, I think the most popular spot is Barbo M in Montrose.
Hmm.
That's always really popular, and it's you're going for like brunch and a show definitely, and it's
Yeah.
like a very kind of like over the top vibe, and really great drag queens kind of putting on a performance. There's a new spot called Montrose Country Club. I haven't been yet, but I know like they are big on having like drag shows during brunch as well. And, it looks pretty fun. And like they have some drink deals going on as well. That's like on my list to check out.
Okay, you've given us a lot of recommendations, and that one sounds like a blast as well. Is there another one that stands out to you that could specifically be for brunch with friends?
Squabble is one, just because that's just one of my favorite restaurants, period, for any type of meal of the week. But
Oh,
they
yeah.
also do a really great brunch. The Dutch baby pancakes are
Mm.
amazing there. But something like that's a little bit more central in the loop. Little Hen is really popular. It's kind of an Instagrammy spot. Like there's a lot of florals. The plates are really cute. It's a spot like a lot of people like to come with their a group of girlfriends that really love kind of
Mm.
a weekend brunch. And then Cuchara, it's a Mexico City inspired restaurant. It's, quite casual, but it's always a really fun vibe. It's always really busy. They have a lot of outdoor seating. I was just there a few weekends ago, and they did a collaboration with the Vietnamese restaurant Bibo and had a
Mhm.
crawfish boil in addition to kind of all your normal kind of like brunch fare that's on the menu.
Whoa. Okay, so hold on. Pancakes and a crawfish boil sounds amazing. Like if I got an order of pancakes and I'm like, hey, in between bites, we're peeling some crawfish and sucking some heads, sign me up.
No, I mean like that feels very Houston to me, to have like
Yeah.
all those type of choices that like in one place.
Yeah. I'd like to recommend one here, with friends. I love going to Aga's for dinner or lunch, but they low key have a great brunch on Saturday and Sunday morning. And you can order a staple in the South Asian community. It's called halwa puri. So that's a big brunch item. It's more of a breakfast item, but it's now turned into a brunch item. But you're getting like fried bread. You're getting this like sweet and sticky halwa, which is I don't want to say it's a porridge because it's more thick than that. And then you get like potatoes and chickpeas, and it is so good. And I think every time people leave going like, what did I just eat? Because I want more of that. It's something you don't eat, across the city of Houston if you're not in the South Asian community. So it's fun to take friends and try it out.
Wow, I'm gonna add that to my list. It sounds like it's comforting and actually healthy at the same
Oh,
time,
no,
which
it's
you
not
can't.
healthy.
It's not healthy.
Val, it
Okay,
is
well,
not healthy. It is
well, I'm fine
all
with that
fried
too.
and oil. Yeah. I actually yell at my parents. I'm like, stop eating halwa puri on the weekends. It's so
Okay,
bad for you. But it's a good brunch item. It's a good, like,
okay.
indulgence right there.
No, I mean August is amazing, so I'm glad you
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Okay, couple more. If I want to splurge, where am I going for brunch? I want to spend some money. I want to drop some money out here in a Houston restaurant. Come on. What's a good splurge?
Uh, Marigold Club. It's from
Ooh.
the same group that owns, March and Rosie Cannonball. It's
Mm.
all kind of in the same on the same block. And but Marigold Club, it feels like you're kind of walking into this like very posh, kind of like London type of like supper club. They have like music and like, green velvet and like
Oh,
everything's like
wow.
very well designed. They have this my favorite part of actually at Marigold Club is like the Sunday cart, which they have that available during the week as well. But just like to end a meal with a Sunday cart's amazing, and you can tell them how you want your Sunday prepared.
Oh,
But
wow.
I just saw that they're doing this promotion where they have fried chicken and like champagne for half off, and they definitely put on this very kind of like a brunch that you definitely want to dress up for, versus kind of showing up in your athleisure or sweats like I am on most weekends.
Yeah, for real. Like put away the Lululemon for one day and put on some business casual or your Sunday best and go enjoy this outstanding brunch. Now, do they have like the traditional items as well that we've been talking about?
Yeah, they definitely have the eggs and some of like the bacon and omelets, like things that are a little bit more traditional for brunch. And it's a not a huge dining room, but it's not so tiny that I think it's so difficult to get into as well, if you just make reservations ahead of time.
Now, I want to end with one that a lot of people might not think about, but it's so popular, especially with our Chinese community, and that's dim sum. And that is like a classic brunch on the weekends. What's a good spot for us to go try?
So I recently reviewed a new place called Silk Road. It's in West Hugh. It's located in a Courtyard by Marriott hotel. So it's very random, but they have
Hmm.
excellent dim sum, especially, and it's inside the loop, which is actually, like it's by far the best dim sum that you can find inside the loop. So that's top of my list in terms of recommending dim sum. And actually, that dim sum is available all week long. It's not just a weekend thing, like a number of the spots in Asia Town. But another favorite for dim sum is Ocean Palace, off Bel Air,
Yeah.
huge, kind of Chinese style banquet rooms with those roving carts. And you definitely want to go with a group so you can like order and actually, that's one place that you do want to share is dim
Yeah.
sum. But then I think another popular choice, kind of very reliable spot is Fung's, just off 59. I
Yeah.
mean, they just do
You
a
can't
really
miss
good
it.
job.
Yeah.
And you can get that lobster mountain that they've been promoting for like the past year. That's
Yeah.
actually really good and fun.
The only problem with Fungs on a Sunday morning is like good luck because it
Yeah.
is packed. It is, I mean, the parking lot is, there's no spots left. It's that popular.
And they valet now, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, do they?
They do on weekends. It's valet for parking in that lot.
Oh my gosh. Brunch is such a cool thing here in the city of Houston. I actually saw the Day and Night Cafe. Did you see this? It's this new 24-hour brunch spot. And it got so popular, they actually had to shut it down. They're like, we need to regroup because this is so popular. So that's just our city now. Like Brunch that's where it's at.
No, brunches, I feel like that's the one meal that like it never goes out of style. It's,
Hmm.
it's not even trendy because, it's just plain popular.
It's just it. It's just part of life now. Bao, thank you so much for all of these great recommendations. Can't wait to have you back on again.
Thank you.
That was the Houston Chronicle's restaurant critic, Bao Ong. Check out our episode description for links to all the places Bao recommended. Now, I have a question for you. Who are your 3 favorite friends to brunch with? Got the answer in your head? Good. Now text this episode to those friends so you can plan your next brunch. Also, be sure to subscribe to the podcast whether you're new here or a longtime listener. And let us know how we're doing. Please drop us a rating and review wherever you listen. Want more foodie recommendations? Subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Houston, with the info in our show notes. Thanks. That will do it for today. I'm Raheel Ramzanali. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new. I've even seen the sparkler girls, and if you don't know what those are, they're like the drink girls that will come around, and if you buy a bottle, they'll pop up the sparklers and make a big scene. Or bottle girls. I call them the drink girls. Let me call them bottle girls because I got that note. I'm old.